Thought we were gonna miss it. They thought we were gonna miss the cat.
We just a little bit delayed tonight.
We never. Don't forget your stuff.
Sorry, guys. We were swimming. We were swimming
and enjoying some amazing home-cooked meals.
And summer days.
Oh, yeah.
Some carne asada, some chicken.
Where weather's been getting nice for everyone around the country. It's finally summertime. We need to take the time to enjoy ourselves, you know?
Got our own private pool that we don't have to share.
We got our own private pool.
No public shit.
So let's cheers to that for PhD.
Let's go. Find nice outdoor weather again.
Thank you for joining us, guys. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you me for joining you. Thank us for joining each other. Thank me for joining me here tonight.
Yep.
Thank
me for waking up and choosing to be part of existence in this what we all call reality at the moment.
In the human experience.
Yes.
Very human, unless you're alien, of course, like we are. You know. Or a para. Or a robot. It's something. Who knows?
Ooh, that tastes fire.
You're an inanimate object like a lamp. You're an inanimate fucking object.
And the ice is helping a lot.
We're getting a bowl going out just so that we could all be high for the cat.
Right.
What are we smoking on? What weed are we smoking on?
Yeah. Right here. Unruly from Blem.
Unruly. So, Blem is British slang. It's short for blemish, and it means to be high. It's also a substitute word for like a joint, right? So, yeah. Let's go ahead and... That's a UK term? It's a UK term, yeah.
Ron Loki just got, like...
That's cool. Always gotta get up on my UK slang, and you gotta be relevant with all the jits around here.
Oh, yeah.
Bruv.
Thanks, bro. You trying to get peppered?
I'm trying to rock my trainers, bro.
I'm trying to get peppered for your beef honey over there.
Trying to get peppered for your beef honey over there.
Hey. Ooh, that's good.
What are you talking about? You trying to talk about... You ain't coming out with me, honey. It was like you think you will.
I'll kill it. Send it back.
Well,
that's very rich. I like that.
Rich.
But yeah, now that it's warming up, we got warm days, sun. What do y'all like to do on your free time? Y'all go camping? Y'all go hiking? What do you guys do?
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I am looking forward to trying to get some camp. I mean, it's getting I feel like it's getting kind of late depending on like where you go, north or southwise or anything to like camp. I feel like if you're going northern a little bit more, you might be better off just because getting a little bit further from like the equator, like temperature zones, all that, you might find better timing. But right now, I feel like if you're going to go camping, you got to wait until we get closer to end of summer. End of summer. I want to. Unless you're going to camp like on a beach or like right by a lake or something like that, you know what I mean? Like close to a body of water, that's like, so you can get that like, air, that
Santa Cruz would be a close enough camping spot to get kind of like the temperatures that he's thinking about? Possibly. I think that there's enough camping spots around there that we could potentially find something that's not booked out yet. But, locally, like even in Grass Valley, there's a camping spot, and I had my parents look it up for availability, and it's booked out for the whole year.
Damn.
Already. And it's not even summertime.
Like the reserves and reservoirs in some areas, have camping spots. When I lived down Los Banos for a little bit, there was the San Luis Reservoir that we went to. That was actually a good experience. They had like a limited number of a type of like deer or caribou or elk or something that lived in the area. So they were like protected species. That's their home. We woke up one night, literally like fucking 20 feet from our tent. The whole herd was out there. We woke up to hearing like their antlers like smashing each other, smell like wood, like they were like fighting and shit, like right outside our tent. That was crazy. Yeah,
I guess
one at a time.
I guess most campsites that are like popular, they open for reservations on midnight on June 1st. So if you're like a camp head. You're camping all the time. You're on it, bro. As soon as midnight hits on June 1st, you're like, okay, I'm booking our camping shit right now. You know what I'm saying?
Where the fuck did we go?
But what else was I gonna say? I've never been any further north in California other than like past Redding.
I haven't been really north. I don't know anything about.
I don't feel like there's really anything up there other than like camping grounds and shit like that, you know, like foresty areas and shit. I want to see it too. I just have never been up there.
Like redwoods, like petrified forest, shit like that. My ideal camping ground, I'm not gonna lie, it's especially the nerd in me. I would camp out where in California they filmed on Star Wars where the Ewok forest was. In those redwoods.
Yeah.
Like I wanna be like that nerd and be like, yo, they fucking filmed Star Wars.
I didn't know.
You know what I mean?
I didn't realize that they filmed it in the redwood until you said that out loud. I'm like, that's right. There's redwood trees.
Well,
like those
well,
are
They filmed that in California.
Yeah,
volcanoes
absolutely.
used in Northern California,
Oh, that'd be
Southern
cool,
Oregon.
too.
Rob into them, bro. They're fucking insane,
That'd
bro.
be cool.
Because dude, they're telling you when you're walking through them, they're giving you the guys. They're like, yeah, millions of years ago, lava was just floating through this. This is what these tunnels were. It was just lava.
That's cool.
That's what this is.
Mhm.
And I'm like, you're walking down there, it's cold as fuck. You're going deeper and deeper into the darkness. And there's certain ones. There's the ones that like the public can walk into that are easy, like guides. And then there's the ones that fucking expert hikers can go through that don't take guides. You're on your own, home slice. Those are those ones.
Yeah.
Dude, even when you're going into the guest, wherever the check-in area that you need to go to even go to these tunnels, you have to wash your shoes off in some type of like thing because it's like
they want certain bacteria.
For the bats. Because for the bat population in that area, because they're so dense and the caves are in that area, you have to wash off your shoes for that reason.
That's crazy.
Exactly. They make sure you do it. Everyone has to do it.
Isaac Guzman, thank you for joining us.
First time meeting Isaac at the shop the other day. So
Yeah, we saw him the other day. That's right. Thank you for coming in.
Appreciate you, my
So we got something to smoke for you. It's a Bob Marley Jeter.
We're doing that right now. No bull rips. We're doing that right now.
We're gonna light up this big kahuna.
Oof. In celebration.
Isaac, my boy, how are you? How are you doing?
What you smoking on tonight?
We need to get clips of this individually right now.
Yeah, I did a little bit of an opening right now. Rick, can you go ahead and...
I'll film, I got it. And then I'll just send it to you.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Yeah, I'll get you lighting it up and everything.
Sick. All right.
Get some
Oh yeah.
Bam.
Get
So here we have Bob Marley Jeter, right? It's going to be flour and live resin up in there.
What is it called?
The strain is herb, right? And it's a hybrid, right? It's a 4.2 gram joint.
Ooh, I love that tip on the end. How they
Put it in
with
your
that
hand.
split foot that they went with.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
show for size comparison.
Soda can.
Throw a lighter next to it or something. Yeah.
All right.
Yes, sir. Show the cam.
Yeah, do the soda.
4.2.
Not sponsored by Sprite.
4.2 in the pre-roll. Yes, sir.
Damn.
Here we go.
Go.
Yes, sir.
So we are looking at 4.2 grams of flour and then 0.02 ounce worth of oil in there.
I got a live rosin cart. Hey, which one? What company? What brand?
Hell yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna light this one up for you.
Going with the actual camera. Don't zoom in. Like just move
It's
in.
that one.
Move in with the camera. Like going closer with the actual camera. There we go. Nice. Dynamic move.
Crystal clear.
There we go. Yeah.
Damn, I need to kill it.
Now left.
Woo! Oh, it's bubbling a bit. We got a little bit of canoe.
Keep it more portrait. Alright.
I'm like,
Sorry, we're geeking out about
it kind of reminds me of
it
kind of reminds me of what the Eighth Wonder kind of was, but
Yeah. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
We all need to talk about filming, so.
If you need even now.
And then, yeah, we'll be in. Well, exit well. Nice.
It could have been me as to the reason why I canoed. I wanted to do the crown and get the cherry going first, but I didn't think that was going to be suitable for the video. You know what I mean?
I just think because
And the fan being on isn't ideal, honestly.
Oh, that could be.
For this joint. I don't know how to do this, Chris. I think I might have just turned them up.
Here we go.
You're good.
if you need to towards it.
So, I want to say that I have, but I'm pretty sure I've rolled a joint.
Let's check again.
Oh,
Sorry, you've rolled a joint.
I want to say that I've rolled a joint as big as that one, and we smoked here. No?
I think you've rolled one close. Yeah. We smoked choppers here before once or twice. But
Yeah, some real bad boys right there.
yeah. That tip definitely helps on the pull.
Yeah, blow the camera like that.
Sick. Half pipe and the strain is purple mochi. So purple mochi rosin cart. Nice.
Nice, bro. Is that indica or sativa? Do you know? Do you still have the label?
I want to say it's an indica, but correct us.
Sounds,
Yeah.
sounds more like an indica.
Confirm us in the chat right there, Isaac.
We have to scroll through this clip right here because we haven't separated clips.
Yeah, I know.
it's okay.
There's plenty of usable clips in this.
Yeah. I'm loving it, dude. Lately I've been doing a little bit more on the editing of the reel, trying to do stuff like that. Last week I was just pumping out one after another every single day. I'm getting a little bit more, used to it, a little bit more familiar
When you
with
get a
it.
rhythm down, you figure out like your system for it, and it's pretty easy after that.
I think so,
Yeah.
right?
I feel like there's a formula for everything. Like same thing with like making beats. There's a formula,
Mm-hmm.
and once you figure out the formula, it's just switching shit up while you're doing the formula on your shit. You know what I'm saying?
Him mentioning beats is something that I feel is really important because I was avoiding the short form content because I didn't want to be like run of the mill type stuff, right? But then when I figured out that a lot of the short form content, it just easily allows you to put like a track behind, right? It helps out with timing of the editing. And one of my favorite things to do is just to sync up the video with the beat.
You want to handle it? Yeah. Yeah. Fuck with it.
There was the one that I did of Rick hopping up on the rail, right? And I tried very hard to make sure that the last like little clap on the downbeat synced up with their hit, with their dash.
You know what's cool too is like the people that edit shit and the people that know about like production and shit, they notice little things like that and we appreciate it. Like I appreciate shit like that because I noticed that you acknowledged it and took the time to adjust it properly so it hit when the board hit the rail. You know what I'm saying? And it's just little shit like that that I pick up in videos or something.
Yeah, or like when the little wobble in the rail, right? But then the song has a little wobble too, right? Yeah. Exactly. So like that's the type of stuff. I was like, I'm glad that you said it because it's.
And I noticed those on beat fucking editing.
Yeah, as soon as they drop, like the board hits the shit. Yeah, it's perfect, bro. That's like real editor like mentality shit for sure. So I definitely see that. I appreciate it, and yeah.
Hell yeah.
Or like in the wave when we jumped into the lake, right? There was also like another little wobble in the song, and in that wobble is when we were
wave hit. Yeah, that's so sick, bro.
I try. You know, it's just you think of like what makes sense. You know?
And it's just like the more you just experiment with shit, the more cool little edit clips and edit tricks you're gonna figure out. You know what I'm saying?
Video this for Marco.
Should I break this cherry?
No, don't. It's gonna break here in a second.
Yeah.
It's gonna cut down to the normal joint.
It should.
It's that big cherry.
Keeping the cherry lit.
I'll like mouse it. It's gonna be way too harsh. More for the clip. Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Good shit. Do that again. Get in when he yeah, I know. Get in like when he does that cloud. Like get in that cloud. Yep, there we go. Nice. That's perfect. There you go. End that clip.
Yeah, Isaac said it was an indica. Nice. Purple Mochi's a real nice strain. I like that one. I got it in a flower before. Oh, cherry real fell out there. You know, this is cool. This Bob Marley Jeter. They said earlier that it kind of smelled like a little bit on the sweet. As far as taste goes,
At first it was. Mm-hmm. But dude, like Dude,
Now
huge
it's just literally just flour.
yeah, huge joints do not keep,
No.
no matter what. So people who roast huge joints, it's a fucking gimmick, bro. It's a gimmick. And most of the time, all those people who say that who get them and love them, they relight them, which is disgusting.
So with the giant joints, I have to agree.
The vagina.
I was gonna say big and giant at the same time. Oh, that was a good one.
Nice.
Ooh, I want a clip like that.
You had your chance. Oh shit.
That's what you
These
get.
channels are getting me. Yeah, we're looking at them.
That's a Godfather-like clip right there.
Alright.
That one? No, I got you.
Celeste said obviously not smoking, but chilling with the dogs, eating pie and sipping on a twisted tea.
Not a girl. That's what we like to.
It's a pie though.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, Celeste.
Getting to the nitty gritty, to the nitty gritty. Hey, come on, hey, big clouds.
What's the best turn cart y'all have tried? For me, it was the Alaskan Thunderfuck. It was Thunder Down Under.
I had the Hot Girl Summer and the Cherry Bomb so far, and
Hot Girl's number
Hot
2.
Girl Summer is fire.
Yeah, Hot Girl Summer is number 2 on that one. But no, I don't have any more of the Thunder Down Under, but it's Alaskan Thunderfuck with some type of like citrusy kind of strain to it. Citrusy type of profile, real good.
So, have you smoked enough Alaskan Thunderfuck to know that you're smoking Alaskan Thunderfuck? Like, does it have a distinct taste?
Not for me in particular. I haven't smoked enough of Alaskan Thunderfuck to say that's it. Not like Durban Poison, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Bro, that's
not
what I'm
like
saying.
Durban Poison.
Durban Poison?
Yeah. Not like Durban Poison, not like Blue Dream, not like, my go-to strains.
Yeah.
But it is something that I have tried before. And then because I don't know why it's in the stoner lexicon, but it's something that whenever I do see, I'm like, oh, that's a classic. Yeah, I got it.
You
Yeah,
see,
you need to put that in that name.
and fucking
Oh my god.
I think the only strain that I'd be able to recognize like that is Durban Poison, only because it's my favorite weed. It's my favorite strain,
Absolutely.
and I just know that flavor.
Hey, I honestly just wanted to tell you right now that I could get you something that tastes like it, that's a different strain, but honestly, I just think it's like white label Durban Poison.
Possibly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like I could honestly recognize Blue Dream.
See, he said the same thing, but I don't think I could do
Durban
that.
Poison I could as well though. Just
Nah,
because
man. Yeah, I know Durban Poison.
Exactly.
I know.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
That smell is so distinct.
That taste, it's the taste. You're like, damn.
Yeah. I know I could recognize Lilac Vito from Glass.
Lilac
Vito, yeah, easy. I know I could get that because that's the only thing I've ever seen.
There's no other strain for me personally that I could like recognize like that. And like I said, it's only because Durban Poison is my favorite fucking strain, and I remember how it smells, and I remember how it tastes, and I remember how it makes me feel.
Yeah.
So if I were to hit a blind bowl and just hit that, and it's Durban Poison, I'd be like, oh fuck, this is Durban Poison. No other strain though, bro. That's just me though. You guys are like, you guys know the strains and shit.
So
like,
I can't even maybe
like a
do.
few.
I mean,
like 2 or 3.
Blue Dreams are pretty that's a pretty popular strain.
Yeah.
And I still wouldn't be able to tell if it's Blue Dream or not.
I'll tell you right now that if we were to put Durban Poison against some hybrids and some indica strains, you'll have a way easier time of telling the difference. But if we put Durban Poison against all other sativa strains, you would have a way harder time of differentiating. I think.
In a general sense,
It
because
really comes down to the way you're testing. Because honestly, some sativas surprisingly do have some similar flavor and
that's what makes Durban Poison such a high value
A lot of
sativa.
them use Durban as a cross or a base at some point in that lineage, they said.
Yeah,
Actually, did you know Durban is actually really old? It's not even new.
Yeah, it's an old strain.
It's a really
older
older
strain.
strain.
Yeah.
I don't wonder why it hit me so hard that night. It's a sativa, bro. That shit had me fucked up, bro.
Well, I've been telling people.
I was ripping bowls of that
Somebody
shit,
at
bro.
work asked me. It was a customer. They're like, "How do you prefer to smoke your stuff?" Like, just and I was like, I had to ask him. I was like, "So, well, what do you mean?" And they were like, "Just in general." And I was like, "This is fucking awesome." I
You're like, oh, cool, yeah.
I'm good. And I was like, so typically, my favorite way to get high is mixing any type of really good indica and really good sativa together, so your body doesn't understand whether, because it's trying to go down with the indica and you're trying to go up with the sativa, and your body's like, what am I trying to do? It creates a really good high dynamic.
It's an equilibrium.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's a really weird feeling.
It's a unique feeling.
The best high, because you're getting the best of those worlds, but your body's trying to fight for which one it wants to,
It is pretty funny when people come in and they're like, oh, I only do hybrids, or they only do an indica to indica hybrid or sativa to sativa. Like, we know, like, good in the industry, like, everything's all, like, everything's on that spectrum, right?
Yeah.
But because of that, right, because everything's on that spectrum on some type of frequency, it's like some have higher highs, some have lower lows, right? And I think you're right. Like, the best way to, like, really get, like, the truest experience of, like, a full entourage effect high is like a down the middle hybrid.
Full spectrum.
Yeah. Like, it's got to be the most down the middle hybrid, right? Because it's like
you're getting everything.
Everything, yeah. You're getting your ups and your downs. You're getting.
Even then, it's still subjective. Like, it could still not affect you like it affects.
That's true too. That is true too.
Still, to this day, people think that weed is like medicine, that it affects everybody the same. Nobody has that asterisk in their head or that nuance in their head that, like, if what I'm telling them doesn't always like it. It's just a foundation.
My receptors receive cannabinoids a little bit differently than your receptors receive cannabinoids.
That's why
your receptors receive cannabinoids.
Nobody understands exactly the same thing with the medicine. Like, that's why there's so many different types of antidepressant, anti-anxiety medicine.
They all fit differently. They all form differently.
Like, they all connect to different chemical receptors in the body.
Work with everybody. Adderall doesn't work with everybody. Like, it's that simple.
Yeah.
It's that simple to understand. But it's no different.
Even if it's classified as the same type of sativa, it still may have different types of terpenes, chemicals.
Yeah.
In the same sense as a medicine that will hit your body differently.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the only reason I know that is because I've been given weed that's been told to me, like, yo, this shit fucked me up, this shit's gas.
Mm-hmm.
And I've smoked it, and I've gotten a decent high, and I'm like, yeah, it's good weed. It's nothing crazy, And then I'm smoking just weed. Just fucking nobody hyped it up here,
Yeah.
And that shit got me lit.
Yeah.
And then that's when it clicked that I was like, oh, this is like, it's a personal thing. Like, different strains affect each of us differently. Like, just because they said that this is gas to them and it got them feeling this way doesn't mean that applies to me. You know what I'm saying?
That's honestly why that whole percentages thing doesn't matter to bullshit either. Yeah. Like, it comes back to that. Like, I've smoked so many things that were fucking 19% or whatever, and less than, like, that got me ripped. And then trying to buy out on expensive
same shit.
Like, $80 fucking infused shit that I'm like, had to smoke the entire thing in one sitting and still barely felt fucking anything.
You know what? I had a fucking customer come in and he was like, bruh, I be buying outdoors that's fucking gas as fuck. And I was like, you know what it is sometimes? And sometimes. I'm not saying all the time, because this is a very sometimes thing.
Really quick on the chat.
I'll got no break started.
I'll got no break.
You want this or you good?
I'm good. You can go to that. Isaac said he had to trade in his cart because one just came out of the package undone. That's something that we've been noticing lately. Is the stuff, the seal's just not been on there, and it just stuff
Sorry,
like
that. Believe that.
Why is it when people are high, they're in a shitty mood? A couple of different reasons. The lack of cannabinoid receptors being actually hooked to THC molecules does cause irritation. And then there's also not being able to fulfill the habit. That's also something that causes irritation.
I feel like, too, that there is a direct correlation between cannabis use and, like, stomach issues.
Yes.
And there's a word for it.
We were talking about it earlier, that it can produce symptoms like as extreme as, like, IBS.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Like, irritable stomach, basically. I feel like that's another thing that gets me sometimes is I notice if I haven't smoking and I'm hungry, my stomach can kind of cause me to feel a certain way, and then I kind of get irritable.
But then if you smoke, does it
It's
settle down?
baseline. I'm good. I'm good.
You don't even feel like super hungry or
Hyperemesis.
anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I get
cannabinoid
the same shit
hyperemesis.
sometimes.
I can't even
It's not every morning, but
Yeah.
there are some mornings. Yeah, I wake up and I'm like, it feels like there's an empty hole. Like
It's
it
because
just
we
hurts.
smoke
I'm
so
in
much.
pain.
Or even in
But
Tahoe,
then
we all
I
smoked
smoke
before we
it.
ate.
Yeah.
We all smoked before we ate, even in Tahoe.
But then there's some mornings it doesn't hit me the same way.
Perfect example, bro. Me and my brother went to visit our grandma,
Oh, yeah?
and we're at my grandma's house in Arizona, like Grammy's house. Like this is like everything, right?
Yeah.
And fucking like I was born in this house. Like this is fucking important.
70.
And like
Ooh,
we're there,
go.
and me and Logan are the first ones there. Like our whole family's coming, so we're there for 2 days by ourselves. And our grandma, like being our grandma, she wakes up early. She makes me and my brother this like crazy breakfast.
2 days in a row.
She made like bagel bite sandwiches and like
Sausages,
pancakes and
fucking,
sausages and all this shit.
orange juice, had the whole spread.
So, yeah, as soon as we wake up, it's like ready to eat, right? She's like, hey, I made everything for you. So we're like, we're looking at it, and I'm looking at my brother in the kitchen, and I'm like, thank you, Grammy. I'm like, we're gonna run outside real quick, okay?
One at a time.
Yeah. And so I run outside on the porch around the corner where they can't see. I rip this dizzy like 4 times, just to get like a little bit of and then go. I'm like, okay, you're good. Yeah. We were looking at it, bro, and I'm like, damn, this is a nice ass looking breakfast, but I do not want to eat any of this right
Absolutely.
now. So I'm gonna go smoke real quick.
Yeah, he hit it for 4 times, laid out there for like 2 minutes, be like,
yep, I'm
we're
there.
good. All right,
100%.
Yeah, and I'll be like, all right, I'll be right behind you, guys.
That's me at literally any restaurant that we go to sit down at, right?
You have to smoke before you go in.
Yeah, I'll either smoke before I go in, or if I'm like, oh, they usually take long here, I'll order my food, and then I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna step up just a quick second.
Yeah. Okay, I'm there. Yeah, I go back.
Even at fucking Korean barbecue, we had
Korean barbecue.
That's worth that shit though.
We all went to dinner for Chris's birthday, and we all had to take turns 2 at a time outside to hit the stizzy before our food came, because you know how it is.
Speaking of,
You deserve it. You gotta go back there.
it's only coincidental that at the end of the year we have somebody else's birthday coming up, so we might have to plan
Another Korean barbecue.
the end of the year, Shindigarino.
Yeah,
I gotta go back
Somebody's thing.
We should do something at the end of summer, I think, too, right?
Hey,
Fall-ish.
we can. Hey, I don't. Yeah, I'm down for it.
And we should plan to try to go.
That was a cool one. So now we know everyone's cool with doing shit together.
We still gotta do that boys trip up north. I feel like around August would be a good time. Like to Oregon, just go north. Just fucking drive. Pick a hotel in Oregon. That's where we're staying, and then just drive and go explore.
I wanted to bring something up earlier to bring it back to.
I've never been to Oregon.
The back cave where you had to wipe off your shoes and stuff.
Crater Lake.
Oh my
so
God.
going a little bit like an hour away from Crater Lake, or like maybe an hour and a half.
Dude,
there's a place called
Brady's moving now.
Multnomah Falls, right, which is the highest waterfalls there in Oregon, and you can see just over the gorge, and on the other side of the gorge is where they filmed. I think it was like Twilight and a bunch of other like foresty type movies and stuff like that.
Fort Washington.
So they have like there's like a 2-mile long hike up the mountains, right? Yeah, that just zigzag. I did it every summer twice when I was a kid, right?
We're down right now, bro. I'm down right now.
You know, smoking trip while we do it.
There's fucking right now.
There's like little caverns along the side, right? That you
get abducted.
That mountain line.
That end up going pretty deep, right? And then one summer when I was there, people tried to climb down there, or climb inside them and like go in there, and they had gotten stuck, right? So as we were walking up, like they had already had the people like there, like trying to figure out how they were coming out, right? And fortunately for them, like this has happened before, and there was like, you know, they knew what to do and how to get them out. It was just like a little process. And as we were hiking up the mountain, we had to walk around them, and then my uncle asked the guys like, "Hey, like, what's going on?" And he told them straight up, he was just like, they try to climb in there, you know, and you know, go cave. What is it called? Forget the word.
Diving.
Cave, something like that, right?
Exploration.
There we go. It's splunking, right?
Splunking?
Yeah, it's splunking.
Yeah.
And then they had gotten stuck, and they were like, "Oh shit! All right, well, we're going back to the top of the mountain, right?" Like, shoot, like
what the fuck are we gonna do?
Yeah. And when we came back down, they had already taken them out and cleared them out.
That's crazy. That's my worst nightmare.
What's it called?
Getting stuck in a cave.
Red Rocks in Nevada. It's tight as fuck. We went there with my grandparents one time, and they stayed in the car because they obviously can't fucking hike the Red Rocks. We went up there with Dad, Bailey Hope, and the uncles. And bro, tight as fuck because it's minor rock climbing that doesn't take gear or anything. You could free solo for quote unquote. So you're like able to do this just like normally, but it's like you have to kind of rock climb to hike this shit. And me and Dad and Bailey and all this shit did this ourselves. So it was intricate at times, and you had to like kind of boost people up. I mean, we had to.
It was fun.
Yeah, but it was sick, bro.
Yeah.
And dude, you got up to a point where like you're like, dude, what the fuck? We're all the way up here, bro. We're all the way up here. And I think we didn't go as high because we were just a family, but I'm pretty sure you could have went further.
Yeah.
It's a dope spot to go to, and if we're talking like actually going somewhere, that's a tight spot. That you got the Red Rocks right there, and I'm pretty sure there's also another trail that's like more foresty. There's a river over there where that trail is. It's tight. Yeah, it's a good spot.
That's another spot.
We got more chat.
Being able to rock climb not like crazily is dope as fuck.
That's
like
sick.
free rock climb with
Isaac says apparently that I have a humongous stomach. Let's have a barbecue. That's something that we're planning to do towards the end of summer as well. Is having another little barbecue. Exactly.
Can I DJ?
Absolutely.
Oh shit! At the end of summer, that should be the thing.
Hell yeah.
What's the longest that you've had a tolerance break?
3 days.
A little over 2 years, and that was when I first.
Wait, how much?
How-
longest
Tolerance break. 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days. When I went to Oregon with my uncle.
I had about 2 years, but that was when I first I was 20. I was about I was 19 to 21. I stopped because
That's a real break.
Yeah, well, I needed to take a break because at that time in my life, I had to take a break from everything completely and had to kind of reset my life.
I feel that.
I think maybe like a week and a couple of days on top of that.
I think what happened is I had gotten to the point where I wanted to get super high again, like I was in high school, like euphoric type of high, like whoa, everything's a movie, you know. And so I was like, okay, I gotta take a tolerance break. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And I didn't smoke for 3 days. And during that 3 days, I don't think I ate or slept that well.
Yeah.
And then the fourth day came around, and I was like, I need to fucking sleep, bro. And so I just ripped the bowl and was like, fuck it.
It took a while during that time, and honestly, it kind of sucked. But and once I got back into it, I had that feeling for a long while where I was like, oh shit.
You know what's funny is that 3 days that I took a tolerance break, is I thought I would feel a difference, like not smoking for 3 days. I smoked, I felt the same.
Yeah. I felt tingly, and that's it.
Yeah, I was like, damn, this is crazy. I feel the same.
It was still nowhere near that same feeling as when I was first started getting high, though. Even taking a break,
Exactly.
it still wasn't nowhere. Yeah, but it was 60%.
You gotta take a dab to do that.
Well, actually, that was one of my first experiences coming back. The dab was after my 2-year break was one of my first experiences.
I remember dabbing you out.
I smoked a blunt. I smoked a blunt. Well, yeah, because back in New Jersey, nobody really had dab rates there often. Or when they did have dab, they started just rolling with smoking and shit half the time.
That was the first time me and Logan were ever gifted shatter. We smoked it sandwiched in bowls.
Yeah,
bowls. We didn't have a rig or nothing like that.
Not realizing that it was just melting into resin into our bowls.
Yeah, the first time my buddy just gave me he just let me take what I thought. He's like, hey, take whatever you want, and I just took a giant booger, and not thinking anything of it. And then just basically fucking passed out in my backyard on a lawn chair staring at the car.
First dab thing.
I was like, oh fuck. I was like, I only smoked one blunt since coming back off of 2 years off of not even drinking nothing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So at that point I was I felt like I had just done all the drugs at once.
Bro, that made me think of this fool putting wax on tobacco.
Have I told you guys that story?
This is a new one.
I've done it multiple times.
So
I never heard of anyone doing
I used to work at the Target warehouse, the distribution center, straight warehouse work. And we were kind of trying to save money at the time, trying to get our own spot.
We didn't have shit.
And so we're I'm not trying to spend any money. and I had to go to work, so I had to get high before I went to work because that job sucks. And we didn't have any weed, but we had wax. And I'm like looking around this room, kind of like this. It's essentially like a fucking like basement, like smoking room. And I'm like looking around, and I'm like, fuck, how am I gonna smoke this wax real quick? And I was smoking cigarettes at the time, and I was like looking at my cigs, and I was like, I just need something to plug the bowl, so it doesn't. So at least I get a little hit of the wax, right? So I grab the bowl and I break down like a quarter of an American Spirit. It's brown tobacco in the bowl, and then I sprinkle like little. It was crumble, so it was crumble, so it was like little drops of crumble on the fucking tobacco, right? And I hit it, and I blew it out, and I was like, but I think I hit it. And I was like, fuck, that's gross. This poor man. But I hit it again. And I was like, fuck.
You're not gonna feel like you want to waste it.
Yeah, and then
hit the 5 and 10.
I don't know. Honestly, I can't tell you. I don't remember if it like really like did anything to get me high because of the tobacco rush I was feeling.
Or like any resin.
Yeah, because it's like, think about it. It's like fucking ripping a cigarette. You're like, God damn. Like, fuck yeah.
Putting the wax on a cigarette and then hitting it through the cigarette, then like bouncing it back in the cigarette a little bit, like exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, desperate times, man.
We've all been there.
Yeah, man. I was like, fuck.
I can't tell you how many times I've I've shattered bowls to get resin. To smoke and then made like a little plastic tinfoil bong, smoke the resin out because I was like, I just shattered my fucking piece. Now, like, how am I gonna smoke?
There was times where we were smoking hella blunts, so we had hella doobies just like lying around, and I would collect all the doobies, right? And on my way to work, I would make like a time bomb in a pipe, so I would like put the doobie in the bowl, and then I would pack weed around it, and then I would light the doobie. So the little blunt is like lighting, and as soon as it hits the weed, it like fucking carpets and like hits it all. And I was doing that for a fucking fat minute, bro. Using all of our roaches. Like
bro, I used to do that shit all the time. I got my buddy who's let me stay with him at one point. He got pissed off at me because like I took a few, even though he had plenty of weed. Yeah. And I took like maybe 2 or 3 roaches.
Yeah, you took roaches.
Yeah, he got pissed off at me. Yeah, but literally, I smoked like maybe 1 or 2, but the amount that were actually gone, he literally found like a month later in his fucking cat's like his cat literally would take them in his fucking little cat tower and shit.
What the fuck?
I took like 1, bro.
Our dogs and our cat hate weed.
Yes.
They hate it. If they see smoke, they like fucking back away from it. But that's good though. I mean, I'm not trying to get them high on accident.
2 out of 4 of my little fuckers don't like weed. Yeah. These 2 have, when we've been smoking in the bed before, have chomped at the smoke coming off the joint.
You know what's crazy is I have friends who tell me that their dogs like love weed. Yeah. Like they'll drop it on the ground, the dogs will eat the fucking raw flower.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, that's wild, bro. Yeah, like my dogs hate that.
That's hardcore. That's hella metal.
Yeah.
Isaac says he has a 3 times the stomach of a full-grown adult. That's crazy.
Damn, is that real?
Yeah. And what do we think of donuts?
I fucking love donuts.
I love donuts too.
Donuts. Frosting cream and jelly filled.
I was gonna say, offer up favorite donut. Go.
Classic maple.
Old-fashioned blueberry glaze.
It's the tie with the Boston cream jelly filled.
Yeah.
Mine's like old-fashioned glaze.
Yeah, old-fashioned glaze is fire.
Yeah.
But the old-fashioned blueberry rings glaze.
That's pretty good. But just glaze.
Yeah, I know. Like a blueberry one. I like the blueberry cake one, Dunkin'.
If I'm being a piece of shit, I will binge a whole bag of donuts, powdered sugar.
Oh, donuts? Yeah, bro.
I'll eat the whole bag with chocolate milk.
The crumb donut.
No, Entenmann's the crumble donut.
Oh, yeah.
They have the perfection of crumble donuts.
Little Debbie's makes like crunchy donuts, but they're like glazed in sugar.
Yeah.
And so like if you hold it to the light, they like glisten. Yeah. Like the sugar fucking crystals. Mm-hmm. Those shit smack, bro.
They also make zebra cake and strawberry shortcake flavored donut snack.
I saw that. I saw the strawberry shortcake donuts. Yeah. I saw strawberry shortcake mini bunt cakes the other day, and I was like, Gabe's like, damn, bro. Game over, man.
I saw Hagel at the Dollar General. They always take $5 for me, dude. Like, it's like
not Dollar General, $5.
I know, yeah.
That's it.
At least
more than me.
At least $5.
I can't.
I haven't been in a Dollar General in years.
So good. I go in there sometimes, like when it's close by. I'm like, oh, I know they have like a couple things I can get for cheaper. But then I'm just like, same thing. I go in there. I'm like, oh, but they. I'm kind of hungry. I'm high.
Yeah, dude. Oh,
like, God, these snack cakes are cheap, and like, there's a bunch of them. Like, cool. Let me grab these.
Yeah, 3 for $4 or 3 for $6. Let me go ahead and grab 3 of these fucking 400, 500 calorie.
I want to try
snack,
but
per serving.
But it's harder in the summer because like it gets too hot to bake, and I don't want to run the AC.
See, I might just go to Dollar General one of these days and just buy like fucking 10 things of snacks and then just take it to work for all my employees.
That's what we do. Yeah,
like
Logan. Well, at least that's I before coming into work. Dollar General. Yeah.
Like just get hella zebra cakes.
Every once in a while,
exactly.
You do it like every once in a while, it fucking goes mild.
Yeah.
It does. I get Froyos. I got Froyos in the freezer right now.
I buy coffee sometimes for all like the bakery girls and shit, and they appreciate it. So like, yeah, I'm like, maybe I can bring in like snacks and shit. You know?
Yeah, bro. Free food.
You gotta take care of your people.
Yeah. Because like they buy me shit sometimes, like out of the blue, like, hey, I'm going to Starbucks. Do you want anything? I'm like, yeah, I do want. I want a sandwich and a coffee actually. Yeah.
Mhm. Whenever they ask me if I want anything from Dutch Brothers, I'm always like, can I get a muffin top?
Bro, I had no idea.
I'm like, no, I'll get some pussy.
Yeah, a little bit. What's up?
I'm like, no, I don't want nothing from Dutch Bros, but I can get some pussy.
What the
muffin top. Excuse me, little muffin top thing, guys.
That little muffin.
I've only ever had
lemon poppy seeds.
I've only ever had Dutch Bros a couple of times, and every time I have it, it's ass.
So it's
my thing.
You get a Red Bull and 2 fountain sodas for the price of one.
My thing with it is, I went there and I wanted a nice blended like drink, like blended cold like Slurpee coffee type shit, right? The girl handed me it and it was moving around like water. And I like saw her like look at it, like she was like, yeah, it's good, and like gave it to me, and I'm like holding it in my hand, and I'm like moving it around, and I'm like, can I get a different one? She's like, well, what's wrong with it? And I'm like, it's not frozen, and I'm like, I want to freeze, like I want it to be frozen.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I gave it back to her, and she was like, okay, and then went and grabbed me another one, same shit, and it's because they don't make their own shit. It comes out of a fucking Slurpee machine. So if the Slurpee machine's not up to temp, all your shit's gonna be runny, and they're just trying to get people out the window. They don't give a fuck, so they're just like, yeah, here, you're good. It is what it is, you know. And I'm the motherfucker that's like, no, I want what it looks like in the fucking menu. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then they're looking at me like I'm the asshole. And I'm like, bitch, I'm paying $8 for a fucking medium blended drink. I want it to be frozen.
Toss some extra ice in the tea and fucking
like something.
I think something. Yeah,
please. Like
you got a blender back there.
I'm like, I'm sorry that I'm like making a big deal about this, but when I want a frozen drink, I want it to be fucking frozen. I don't want it to be watery. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not asking for a cold or like something with ice.
I'm not asking for a cappuccino and I'm getting an iced coffee. I'm supposed to be okay with it. Like,
yes, you are. Just fucking take the damn.
I guess so, bro.
I'll take it.
Thank you, Daddy.
I feel the same way because half the time when I go to any type of like coffee place, I'm getting like a frap for the most part. Like
it's gotta be perfect, bro. It's gotta be like perfect temp, like perfect, like yeah, it all like
the perfect
flirt. Yeah. There's like I used to work at Java, and there's like a right ingredients to ice ratio, and you know it because as soon as you drop everything in there and you kick the blender on, you'll see it turns on itself. Everything blends and it just starts mixing on itself, and you see this little like fucking plus sign form in the blender, and it's just like, and you're like, that's gonna be a good fucking drink. That's what you want every time.
That's a perfect blender.
And at fucking Dutch Bros, they use like a Slurpee machine. They don't use blenders.
Yeah, it's just like a churner.
They just fill it with fucking ingredients like out of a bag, and then it's supposed to get cold, and then they just fucking. Here you go, you know. But at Java, they use real blenders
Yeah.
and they fucking can like add more ice or add more coffee or add less. You know what I'm saying?
It's so important, and I get that like they're trying to be like the fast beverage, like get it in and out, but like
The quality matters at the end of the day, bro. Especially if I'm paying $8 for
Yeah.
a medium drink, bro.
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
should matter. But I will say that having conversations, multiple times, like with Daphne and everything, like about like what these businesses have numerical data to support is that for the most part, just in the general people who don't, the sheeple out there, right? They just want it fast. They'll take their slot, right? And it's so frustrating because you're like, we want quality product, we want to get what we pay for, but the people who eat the slot make it harder for the quality of your product.
That's just me as an individual. Like, as somebody who handles food, I try my best to, when I'm making a sandwich for somebody, I make a real quality sandwich.
Yeah,
like, I'm not just rushing it to make it look like shit.
And it's going to come out looking appetizing, not like, half-assed, like
Exactly.
it's falling over lopsided.
Exactly. And
like,
that's just
you can
me,
see
though.
what's on the sandwich. Like,
Yeah.
on what you're eating, you can distinguish, like, what's there. It's not just a massive fucking whatever.
What you interpret as being considerate and, being, like mindful about your job, it's kind of crazy because there are other people who would consider that, and you tell them that, like, hey, look, I got to make sure every single. I guess it depends on the severity of it, right? Because you as a server, if you're thinking about that, or as someone who's preparing food, if you're having that thought every single sandwich, right? Like, I got to make sure that this one's right. I got to make sure that this one's right? That could be anxiety, right? Okay. But then if it's like just the one off or the two off, then no, it's an isolated incident.
But ultimately, like, yes, it's anxiety. Like, that's what you're signing up for when you're working with
planned anxiety. I agree,
because you know what I mean. Like, ultimately, you have to consider. You may want to eat the same stuff that you're bringing out to people.
Definitely. A little anxiety is important.
What if your family wants to come in and visit you, or like you want to take your family because you get discounts or whatever with that food? Like, if you're working at an in-house restaurant, or even at like a store that serves food and sells food, like packages stuff, like you want to make sure that the food that you're going to be buying, or that your family comes to shop at, like, is going to be bring home consistent, like, quality stuff that's not gonna make them sick or go bad too soon, or like, you know what I mean? It's not gonna be like this flavored like this if it's like a type of sauce or something like this 1 week when they come in, and then the next week all of a sudden they're finding like chunks and stuff because it's not blended right.
Yeah.
Or like they can taste like the different sauces because it's not like, there's so many different things that go into it. Like if it's not chilled or heated right, like that leads to inconsistencies, like with how sauce, like so many different things are fucking made.
Inconsistencies come from the lack of standardization all the time.
I mean, like he said, it's at the end of the day when it comes to anything food related, it's like if I'm making it, I wouldn't need it, and I hold myself to like a high standard of food. Like I try to only eat good quality shit, and if I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, I wouldn't eat this, then I'm not serving it to people, bro. You know what I'm saying? And so I just feel like it's just little shit like that people appreciate, and I'm not trying to like toot my own horn, but like people will come up to me and I'm not even working in the deli, and they're like, hey, like the other day I had a guy come in and I was in the bakery, and he came up to me, he was like, hey, it's my birthday and I really just want like a really good sandwich. Like, can you like go over to the deli and make my sandwich? And I was like, yeah, bro, like I got you. You know, So like people notice that shit, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Because like I noticed it, like if I get a sandwich one day and it's hella nice, I'm like, the sandwich smacks, and the next day it's just like a mess. You know what I'm saying? So
people know the same thing about when like certain salads I make. Like they notice the difference when like I'm online, like they have
prepped properly,
or like they've asked me like specifically, like, hey, like especially if it's like regulars or something like that, like, hey, like Chris, I'm like, can you make this one like salad? Because they know I make it look right, and like they know it's going to come out looking at least how it should be and appetizing.
Even the difference between like mobile orders that are meant to be picked up versus like ones that are placed in the store, I've noticed that a lot of instances, like if I'm placing the mobile order for food that's like going to be prepared and already ready to be picked up, right? I find that the quality is just like more a little bit like whatever. But if I go in the store and I place the order and I'm like, hey, look, can I get this? That's when I notice that, oh, like I'm getting like more fries, or I'm getting more like actually hot food or whatever, even though I'm there when they drop the bag, you know what I mean? So that's another thing too that I think plays a factor as well.
we live in a technological age, and then all these restaurants are trying to keep up with like this one's a DoorDash order, this one's our own app order, this one's a general phone order, this one's like an in-store order.
See, and that's where I was going with it. Is there's a fine line that they want you to be at. They want you to be fast, but they want you to also make quality shit. So if you're not like adjusted well to like how shit works, it's gonna be hard for you to make good sandwiches at a fast rate. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they want. And so it like people adjust to that differently. Some people don't adjust at all, and you just kind of have to work with them. Like people work differently. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes they with themselves.
But it's a fine line with quality and quantity, and I feel like places like Dutch Bros, they kind of lean more on the quantity, and they just like push it out the window because that's what they're expected to do. You know what I'm saying? So like I understand, but as somebody who handles food, like I said, at the end of the day, like I'm not gonna serve somebody something that I wouldn't ingest or enjoy myself. You know,
That's really cool because like that, I feel like the deli is the happy medium between like the fast food mentality and like I guess you could say like any other kind of restaurant,
like a regular sit down type of restaurant.
because the deli still has like that mentality because it's not quite as fast paced. It's not. It can be fast paced, you know, in a busy restaurant and stuff like that.
Definitely,
But it's not like set up to be as like 1, 2, 3, 4, like a McDonald's, like a Jack in the Box, like a Taco
Like
Bell.
having like the drive-through option.
Exactly, like the drive-through option. But
as well as like the dine-in or walk-in type shit.
exactly, that allows for a skill to be developed of being able to develop quality food fast because you got the rush, right? And then having that thought just pre-ingrained into the process of like if I wouldn't eat this, right, I'm not gonna serve it, right? So make it look like something that I would want to
And
eat.
honestly, the only reason why I am good at making good food at a fast pace is because before I worked in the deli, I worked in a fucking pizza place in a much more populated area.
Oh yeah.
So with a much more populated area, shit's busier. And like here, it's not that populated. So a dinner rush here is like a breakfast rush in like Phoenix or LA. So I got used to working fast all day long. And so coming back here to like a lunch rush or a dinner rush, it's like half that speed, bro. It's nothing, bro. I can literally fucking run around and take 5 people's orders and do them all. You know what I'm saying? And it's just because I got so used to working at that high volume in a kitchen to where it is like dinner time in a pizza place in Phoenix, it's nonstop for hours. It's wings, it's sandwiches, it's salads, it's desserts, it's breadsticks, it's garlic bread, you know, and it's just your fucking ticket thing is and you're just all right, here we go, bro. One, next one, and at the same time trying to make it look good and appetizing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
and
it definitely is a skill.
in a time order too.
Yeah,
like,
it is
so
a
that
skill.
way, you know, you're not putting out like the fucking entrees accidentally, like, and then they're sitting in the window while people are still waiting for fucking apps and shit like that. Like,
you want to make sure that your like apps go out first before they get their pizza because you're gonna look like a dumbass.
Yeah.
You start their wings out with their
but then
pizza.
timing it right sometimes because you know, like certain things are gonna take you longer to make, and you know certain things will take like less. It's like there's so much fucking intricacy.
Organized chaos.
High volume.
I love that shit.
High volume food doesn't seem to be that much different from like because I come from Amazon being high volume like processing and production, right? And things like that. I mean, you're really just talking about substituting food with fixing tickets, right? And you know, like literally like
filling orders.
Like,
how many boxes have you scanned in an hour?
Making sure like everything grabbing the right stuff off the rack.
And my particular thing is like making sure that the packers were doing exactly that and making sure they were all balanced out, moving people from one wall to another to make sure they're accommodating for workflow, right? But it was just like, June, move this person from this wall to this wall. Boom, fix this ticket to fix this product to whatever the issue is with it, right? On the computer side and the clerical side. Boom, right? Oh, submit. This person submitted their time approval, their time that needs to be approved, right? In the middle of their freaking day, and I'm like, okay, now I got to go do that, right? It's just one ticket after another, one thing after another. But like that high volume processing, whether it be in food or production or whatever it be,
it develops that skill of just being able to like not only multitask,
Think
but
on the
just, like
fly.
Yeah, it's being able to be
Yeah.
adaptable.
flexible. Yeah,
exactly.
and be
Because
dexterous.
it's not even so much like flexible, but I feel like adaptable just feels like more sense because it makes more sense in situations.
Yeah.
Mhm,
You know what I mean? And just being able to deal with not just situations like people, like machinery, any type of issues that come up, and like being able to like keep thinking more on the fly.
Hmm.
And I feel like it's more quick paced
Yeah.
yeah,
in
absolutely.
a sense with that type of term.
I'm not gonna lie, some of the funnest times I've ever had in a work environment were in a kitchen, and I'm sitting there drinking a Red Bull, got a Zen in my mouth, I'm playing music, and me and my buddy are just fucking making food as fast as we can, bro.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like it sounds like it wouldn't be fun, but there is fun. It's like
Yeah.
a game, bro.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like a little game. Like I got all my shit here. Just feed them to me, bro. I'm making whatever the fuck comes in front of me, and you get in like this flow, like with anything else, and you're just like,
One of my favorite
You
things
know?
is like doing like the pivot foot move where you're just fucking standing like you're basically you don't have to move from a spot like you like
you're just turning.
find it and you're always on one foot in this private place and like I sat there like in my head before like with music everything going talking like bullshit with everybody
Yeah.
and just be like like at the same time like all right like what's the high score tonight before I have to before I have to like actually move a spot what's the high score like I can get two times
That pivot, that high score is an actual job at Amazon, right? That is like from the conveyor belt, grab the item, pivot, put into the wall, get your higher number.
without moving though.
Yeah. One foot.
Yeah,
One
it's
foot.
like the same spot.
Yeah.
One foot.
I love that. So even if you have to stretch a little bit, it's like, no,
Hey,
fucking
no,
do it.
hold on. And it gets even better because like there's one footing it, and then there's like certain parts of the wall where this motherfucker has a wall from here to there, just full, and then there's two people, right, to accommodate that entire wall, and there's pivot, like hours on end, hours on end.
Just that movement.
Just that movement.
Yeah.
Right? And I love seeing, and that was my favorite thing to do. I didn't like so much the packing whenever I was like on the wall, because like I was a supervisor, so I didn't really have to do anything like that.
Yeah.
But there were times where I would cover for people's bathroom breaks and stuff like that, because I'm sure y'all know Amazon is horrible about bathroom breaks and stuff.
Yeah.
So I would be making sure that I would be packing for people to keep their numbers up, so they didn't feel bad about having.
fall behind.
Yeah, dude. I was having to actually do other people's work just to make sure that my people were
Oh yeah,
on
but
top
that's
of
the
it.
job though. That's the
That is the job though. Yeah.
And that's how you be a leader.
Yeah, that is.
Not a fucking manager
player.
or anything. That's how you actually lead people.
Yeah,
Fucking
exactly.
warehouse works.
Yeah.
Dude, it's
That
such so
shit
bad.
so
Yeah.
much.
I know.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hate it.
I hate it.
I loved it and I hated it.
I didn't
hated it.
really mind it when I worked at PetSmart. It was just a problem dealing with when we had like mice infestation that would come off the truck and like in the fucking food bags and shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had
more
so
like-
many jump out at me.
I'm not gonna lie. Obviously when you start out at any new job, you get the grunt job. Like you get the shittiest job there is, like loading trailers or taking boxes off a conveyor and putting them on a cart. You know what I'm saying? All day. So I did that shit for like a couple months, and I had worked my way up. And they're like, "Hey, he's a good worker." I think when I got hired, they hired 45 people for seasonal work, and they kept 3 of us,
Yeah, that sounds
and
about
I
right.
was one of them.
For the target worker?
Yeah. So they
Yeah,
so
100%.
they kept 3
Same.
people out of
Amazon,
42.
uh-huh.
So they're like Ricky and 2 other fucking people.
Yeah.
And so I had moved up in positions and shit. And eventually I had gotten to the position where I worked in the damaged area,
Uh-huh.
which was cool because I got to work alone.
Yeah.
I didn't have to
Oh,
work
there
with
you go.
nobody, bro.
Yeah.
So I was just in my little damage area, and I would just have like my beanie on. I wore a beanie every single day to that job, and I had headphones in. And so they'd come in and they'd just drop me shit off, and I'd like scan it, damage, put it in its area, do whatever, you know? And that was cool. Like working by yourself and shit, like doing that was cool, but like doing all the grunt work to get up there, like took a fucking minute.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
100%.
saying? And I was like making a decent amount of money at that job, but like my well-being in my regular life was non-existent.
The
So
seasonal work that you're talking about, out of 45 people, and then you were being one of the 3. I had a situation like that where we had taken on a seasonal worker, and I was given the responsibility to just pick. I think it was like 4 out of like 50 people.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That same shit. It
Yeah, I
was
was just like, oh, I have to decide this. Like it was my
Yeah.
first time ever being like, oh, okay, like this is for you to decide who is actually like keeping their job, not just like a suggestion or like what do you think? Like no, like this is just your decision.
yeah.
Right? And I was just like,
Damn.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh god, okay.
Yeah, it was me, my homie Ron, and somebody else. But like at that time, bro, like me and this fool, like we were trying to get our own spot. So I was like working. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm seasonal. I ain't being seasonal. I'm gonna be full time, like fucking.
Yeah, I'm gonna show.
You know what I'm saying?
Here.
Exactly, and that's what I did. But
And those guys, I like those guys. 'Cause those are the ones that I ended up keeping.
well, I had something to work for, bro. We're trying to get our own fucking spot. I have to work, bro.
Yeah,
Like
that's
there's
how
no
it kind
question.
of started when I did the PetSmart. It was like I needed something because like I was in between jobs and like at the time like that like we couldn't just support just her like you know supporting both of us and like paying like the
You
apartment and
have
all that.
something else.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And but then like I got up quick, but I enjoyed it just because early morning shit. Like I only had to deal with a few people, and it was literally like going in headphones, just doing a few shelves, and then eventually they had me just like, all right, you can check in the truck. We don't even need to like anyone else do it. Just tell the other opener to like what pallet to grab, and then you're good. Like they just let me kind of take over. Yeah, and that was fucking awesome. And I'd be out of there. I'd go in like 4 a.m, be out by like 12 to 1 o'clock.
Yeah. The warehouse work is interesting.
It's definitely.
What's funny is when I was leaving, they were trying to bring like tech into the warehouse. So when I like my couple like last week or two, they had brought in a AI arm.
Oh,
and so the arm, like they would put pallets of like boxes near it, and they would be like this type of box to the AI, right? And the AI would like have a camera on it, and it's an arm, and it would scan the pallets, and it would break down the pallet, and then find the right size box, and like grab the box and put it on the thing. And I'm just like watching this robot do all this shit, and I'm like, that thing's gonna take all of our fucking.
Yeah, when that's the whole thing that when it comes back, every time I see this stuff, the first thing I think of is the Tim Burton Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
How like it dealt more in the book like, oh, his dad lost his job to the fucking robot that was.
He became the repairman on.
Yeah, but really still, it's like ultimately like
rip that shit, boy.
Technology keeps developing to the point.
It's passed already.
Technology keeps developing to the point where it's like, you know, machines can repair machines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like AI keeps learning, they keep developing this shit, so it could learn to build its own stuff to like repair its own circuitry or anything like that. Like, or just, oh hey, this one's broken. Fine, I already have a replacement arm that's on its way. You know what I mean? Like, so don't even worry about fixing this one. Like, the computer already sent a new one to take care of it.
Exactly.
The
automatic fulfillment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, automatic fulfillment.
So there's not even a need for like repairmen after a point.
Amazon had this line of machines, they call them smart packs, right? And it was literally 2 of them were for like the bubble mailer types. Items would literally go in the chute, right? And it would just boom, boom, turn the little packet. And then for the box ones, it was items that had to be under a certain size, right? But same thing, like it would automatically just find the right, like it would detect the item, find the right size box for it according to its dimension. Like literally just like not, I don't even know how, like I want to say printed, but like the cardboard came like from like a stack that was next to it, right? And it would just pull from those stacks of like whichever one it needed perfectly, and it was just like boom, like less than 5 seconds, dude.
I'm saying, bro.
All right, let's probably cap it off around here. Idea.
11:21. 11:21.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, smoke your weed.
Look
forward to more shorts.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some stuff pushed out right now.
We got some skits coming. We got some ideas flowing. New content on the way.
New film motivated. We're gonna start pushing stuff out for you guys.
It's gonna be fun.
Hell yeah.
All day, every day, all day.
Have a good night, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Like, comment,
Isaac,
subscribe.
all gas, no breaks. We appreciate you, homies, always.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys next Wednesday. Take it easy.